This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Turn 2.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Yeah.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
Guys.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Wait.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I can't jump.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Unless if there is... my bucket. No.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Pick up my bucket. I like my bucket. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I did. I definitely did. It's very tight to my chest.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yes.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, okay.
Stepping in.
Guys. I think I just broke the game. I don't... Can I... Maybe? Ah, room closet. No? Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. I can't even go back to work. Whoa. You're now leaving. Escape pod bay. What the heck? I mean, at least I have my bucket, but like, what did I do? Did I not break the game? How far are we going? Like, I don't mind, but like... 58... 9... Oh, it's getting darker. Escape pod launch bay. Whoa. Escape. Okay. I don't, dude. Oh. Oh. Bucket? What's what? Why am I saying shh? Don't tell me what the... What are you doing to the bucket? Dog. What are you doing? Just get in. Don't put the bucket on myself. Get in. What are you doing? Bro, am I really? No. Oh my gosh. Really? Really? Really?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
I know,
New
right?
content.
What would I get to see this time? Watch it be just new death.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Well, thank you.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Well, I hope it's good.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
And then I die. Bro.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I'm ready.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
It's dark.
All right.
Remaining.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh. Wee. Well, no more jumping. I missed my
Is that it?
trampoline.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
Okay, which way you
Another
wanna go?
elevator.
Left to right?
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very
There's
good.
another jump circle.
Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid.
We did.
It could never have lived up to such expectations.
It can't.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Okay.
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do
Happy
you say,
Valentine's
friend?
Day to you. Odd. Whoa. Crazy.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent!
I want
to show you something!
but uh, coffee nut.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me
Yeah.
thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Ooh.
Take a look.
Ooh.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Ooh. You want to go through a memory zone? Okay. Don't forget Stanley.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, the waste. Not because it happened. Oh, and then the disc, and then the first dollar, and this. Oh my god. Yeah, don't play for 5 years ago outside. It's impossible to get this achievement. Oh. Did not know that it got some stuff. That's actually interesting. And it's even more. Okay, these are
And over
stones,
here
sometimes
is where I
that's
keep
blood.
reviews of the
Red.
Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every
hear that,
game
Stanley?
ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What's an hour of new elevator content? Do I want to go down or up? Guess it doesn't open. Well, just like all museums, I'm getting tired.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Per usual.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down
Probably
here.
bad stuff.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This is... Oh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear.
I'm sorry, Dad.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
You did.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
It's not.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well,
Sorry, dog.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop...
Hi.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Yo, why is there one light?
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
How am I still alive?
Or 2 weeks.
Yo, I can't see anything.
Oh, hello. It's you.
Oh my God.
You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
Bro.
Have you ever...
It's been a year. How long is it now? Narrator? Narrator? Did you leave me? I'm alone.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review.
Narrator, are you coming back, please? I mean, I don't like it when it's quiet. I prefer to hear you.
The end is never the end, is never the end,
Dude,
is never the
stop
end,
tweaking, please.
is never the end, is
Please
never
come
the
back.
end, is never the end, is never
I'm
the
sorry.
end, is never the end,
I'm
is never the
sorry.
end, is never the...
How long has it been? Yo! 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 Oh my gosh, I see daylight. Do you guys think I'm never gonna hear my friend again? Friend? Narrator? Friend? Okay. Okay, just what? I don't like this. No, get me out of here. I don't like this. Get me out of here. What is with these sounds? No. Get me out. Okay. Oh no. Can I press it again or no? Oh no. Where do I want to go? Oh no. I lost narrator. I lost my friend. I'm truthfully alone. I don't even know how many years. It looks like I'm the only one here too. I mean, if I just keep walking away from it, right, I'll be fine. Just keep going this way. Or should I go towards the sun? I mean...
Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be
Yes.
alone ever again.
I don't want to be alone. Where's the meeting room? I didn't like that. New concept. New concept. I don't put meeting room. Put new concept. Put meeting room. Ah.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I'm a little nervous, dog. You've been having me just keep going.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Huh. This actually looks really nice.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yeah.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2,
Old
now that's
busted
an artistic
pockets.
statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Yeah. Whoa.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new
Name
features.
of the player that is playing the game. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. What the hole? Where's the hole? Infinite hole. Free trophy, get yours, photo, registering trophy, number stuff. Okay, cool.
Now here's something special.
Where's
You
the
remember
hole?
that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy.
Dude, I wanted
you
the
see,
trophy.
you're... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken.
Bro.
I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Bro. Bro. Where's the hole? Just give me the hole. That's all I want. Just give it. Just give me the hole.
What
Oh,
else?
infinite
What
hole.
other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly
Jumping in.
fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's
Okay.
right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games is a... You see? Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since
funny
you've
is
gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
What if I don't want to?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Don't think I will though, but like, thank you. Watch the hole
Okay,
get
Stanley,
smaller.
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Am I gonna hit the ground?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
dead.
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of
didn't
the
die.
hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're
You
so
are.
clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I
Me.
figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm
Whoa.
very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Crazy. It's not gonna say my name though.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Watch it work.
Jim.
Oh my
Sorry,
gosh.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to
my
really
gosh.
simulate the full experience of this feature. Just
Okay,
play
guys.
along. I promise
see.
you'll love it.
This
Okay,
button
here
says
we
my
go.
name.
Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh my gosh. Guys. He knows my name. Oh my god. Ah!
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh my gosh. Did I actually say my name?
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a...
get it.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
I'm sorry.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well,
I think we
I'm
gotta
happy
do
to say that after
transformative.
much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Or
You
is
see,
it-
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
There it is.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I got it.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
You'd get a dog.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh.
Who am I kidding,
guess.
Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction,
Deluxe.
this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Boom.